Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, April 13th, 2025, my newest segment of Markets to Look Ahead. I want you to stop here for a second. If you do not have the time to finish this video, come back later because I'm going to cover a lot with you. It's going to be kind of long. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but I really want to bring you guys up to speed. Lots of things going on, lots of moving parts here, and that's what this is all about, man. Understanding what's happening, why it's happening, and more importantly, what we're going to do about it. People, look, we're being set up here on an epic scale. And in my opinion, as we have spoken about for I don't know how freaking long now, we're going to experience a credit event, a debt event. And I want to cover that at length as well because I feel we're damn close to this. The ability right now for corporations and even the United States as a corporation, whatever this entity is, nations around the world, they're having a very difficult time refinancing their own debt. And that is going to lead to a meltdown of the system and a locking up of the system. Again, none of this is by accident. Everything we're seeing is by design. They want us on our knees. They want us on our knees, people. And people are going to be forced to fall on their knees and beg for a new system because that's what's being set up here. Here at the end, central banks are running the show, and that's frankly it. Let's start off with some headlines here, people, from Friday here. So this really disgusts me to the highest possible order. Do you recall how many times we heard out of the mouth of the Federal Reserve collectively how inflation was temporary, it was transitory, it was going to go away? And what did we say from day one? Bullshit. Okay, we knew it was going to be ongoing and get progressively worse. So here's a headline. This is Friday. Fed officials signal they are more worried about inflation than slow growth. Now let's put a perspective on this. The Federal Reserve has two mandates: full employment and price stability. Now, if the Federal Reserve, who is responsible for monetary policy and henceforth responsible for currency purchasing power debasement in this case here, where's the accountability? How about nowhere? Temporary, transitory, this was a lie. And again, there will be no accountability here no accountability for anything. It's just a freak show. Now we got this, and then we got a follow-up by the CEO of J.P. Morgan. Jamie Dimon here. This is what he's saying. Are you ready for this? I mean, man, like we don't know. Like we don't know. You can't make it up. So the CEO of the super bank, J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, is warning of considerable turbulence ahead, citing rising inflation, which is not going to stop, and of course, higher debts and deficits. Oh my goodness, you can't make it up because you and I have been talking about this forever. But again, the lies, the deceptions, the distractions, and this incredible thing. But how about this one? Remember this guy here? Imhotep himself? So Fed's Kashkari is saying rising bond yields and a falling dollar show investors are moving on from the United States. The United States is dying. It's being deliberately pile-driven into the ground. It's over here, okay? And the duppy is finishing the job. That's why he was chosen. I'm the chosen one. That's why he was selected to finish it. It's over. So that's Imhotep over there. How about this one? This is Friday. Consumer sentiment sinks, approaching a 3-year low with inflation worst highest since 1981. People are being crushed. Sound familiar to you? We've only been talking about this, that it would happen since time immemorial. Let us move forward. The collapse of the dollar. We're not the only ones watching what's happening to the dollar here. Collapse of the dollar shows the biggest damage right now is to the U.S. brand. The United States is being erased, but we're going to make it great again. You know how we can make America great again, people? Honestly, President Trump knows this. I don't think the man's stupid. So there's something else going on, something dark, something diabolic, henceforth why I call him the duppy. We need to return purchasing power to the currency. If we return purchasing power to the currency, not only would that make your life better, but people around the world would want to hold U.S. dollars. They'd want to hold U.S. debt. But what's President Trump doing? Calling for the same things that the Fed wants. Lower rates, which of course means destroying the purchasing power of the currency even further. You couldn't have more of a more powerful alignment, and I told you this from 1,000 years ago, than a world leader working with their central bank to destroy the currency, henceforth destroy the economy, wipe out the middle class. Do you need more proof of this, or you really think there's still another plan going on here? Now, how's this one from Barron's? The bond market rout is bad news for the economy. People, look, it's not just you and I paying attention to what's happening here in the debt market, and we have a lot more to talk about. Now, with regard to more headlines here, President Trump is now exempting smartphones and computers from new tariffs, even from China. All right, this is what you call fly by the seat of your pants tariff policy, completely incoherent. Trump has exempted smartphones, computers, and some other electronics from reciprocal tariffs, including the 125% levies imposed on China imports. This is, I guess, how we make America great again, people. Yeah, I'm going to keep beating them up. And if you can't stand it, you don't belong here. Here's something else. This is something you're going to absolutely love, okay? Go ahead, people. Make this one up. President Donald Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, who is the so-called architect of President Trump's tariff policy, because it can't be President Trump's fault why this thing is falling through the floor here, why it's not working, why he's exempting everyone, pausing tariffs, and now China's even now, they're laughing. Could you imagine the laughter that's going on right now in China? Trump now exempting all these electronic devices, components coming in from China. You can't make it up. Anyway, so Peter Navarro, the architect of President Trump's tariff policy, he's saying that this stock market plunge on the back of this failed tariff plan is no big deal. Now, he's encouraging people to buy stocks. Peter Navarro is encouraging people to buy the stock market. You see, if I did this, the SEC would be out at my door, and I would be in handcuffs right now. So my question to you was, are you buying stocks now on Peter Navarro's recommendation, now encouraging people to do so, to buy stocks? Can't make that up. All right, now I want to move forward. People, you and I have spoken about this for quite a while, but it's starting to happen. So I put this out this morning for you. Expect a massive cover-up. Everything I'm going to show you from here forward is in your inbox right now. If you subscribe to my newsletter, link in the description of this video. Let's go over this stuff. Lions expect a massive cover-up. Watch the headlines moving forward. Every manner of deceptive tactic you can dream of is going to be weaponized moving forward to keep the sheep from knowing the truth. Imagine our shock. First off, inflation is not under control. You're going to expect to hear that. Expect to hear it. Okay, even though the Federal Reserve just Friday told you that their greatest worry is not the slowdown in the economy. At least they're admitting the economy is slowing down. Duh. Okay. But their greatest fear is inflation, which was supposed to be temporary or transitory. I tell you, people, honestly, how could you make this stuff up if you tried to? So, first off, inflation is not under control, and they know it. The Fed on Friday is already warning of higher inflation and a slower economy moving forward, along with the freaking CEO of the Wall Street Superbank, Jamie Dimon, warning of the same. Really? Like, we need them to tell us. Okay. Now, expect no accountability, and this bothers me. It should bother you, too. For the Fed, all the garbage and fake deceptive talk about inflation being temporary or transitory, we called it from day one here, my lions, you and me. We said this would not be temporary or transitory. Now expect to hear more words like sticky to be used in their vernacular. Moreover, do not expect anyone to be held to account for this lie or anything else. Now, the freak show. Headline CPI numbers are engineered to fool the public perception, to trick people. The real cost of living, food, insurance, utilities, repairs, you go on and on and on. This is continuing to rise, and the Fed is warning about it. So is the freaking Jamie Dimon himself as well. Imagine our shock. Now, the Fed is running the clown show. The duppy may be the ultimate clown, but the Fed is pulling the strings. They will continue to pile drive the economy into the ground with more dollar debasement and lower rates. Today, the U.S. national debt is $36 trillion and rising fast. This war, 24/7, now going on for a month in Yemen, again, is all about pulling cash into the system to trick the system into believing it's more liquid than it actually is. Every manner, every tactic, every deception is going to be utilized right now. You wouldn't even know there's a war going on, would you? Yeah, but we're at war right now, the United States here, and the duppy got us into it. Although it was obviously those pulling his strings. He's not pulling anything. This man is useless. Anyway, again, really backing off on all the tariffs. China's laughing at us. You really think he knows what he's doing still? Honestly, duh. Anyway, the Fed is running the clown show, people, and they're going to pile drive this all into the ground. You, me, everything else. They destroy the purchasing power of the currency, wipe out the economy. The national debt skyrocketing as fastest pace we've ever seen, compounding the interest burden on the United States, and it's at a critical mass. But what are they going to do? They're going to continue to inflate people. This means, what I've been telling you for the longest time, is the Fed is going to start cutting rates further. They will more than likely go negative. Expect capital injections into the system to keep the system going for as long as they possibly can, again, until they got more dependency on it. Then they're going to pull the plug. And when they pull the plug, everything stops. And I mean everything stops. Moving forward. Does this make sense to you? Listen to this part. Supply chain weakness, and we're already hearing about it. Okay, we already know this is happening. Forget about where this is going moving forward. Plus wage pressures equals persistent price creep higher. People in the middle class cannot survive in this environment, and it's being made worse by design. You really think this is just a comedy of errors that got us here, that the duppy was just selected here just by chance and you got to pick him? Wow. The geopolitical clown show is adding fuel. Tariffs, de-dollarization, trade realignments, which is happening everywhere. The nations around the world looking to sidestep the dollar. All these increased costs of imports and reduced purchasing power as well. The U.S. is isolating itself economically while global supply lines are rewritten. They're rewiring. This means fewer affordable goods and structural inflation, people. We haven't seen anything yet. Are we on the same page so far? Bottom line, you and I, people, I and I are ready. And my lines, I promised you this from I don't know how long ago. I got your back, count on it. This is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Let us move forward because I'm going to talk to you about the next shoe to drop, people, and I want you to be ready for that. Now, let's talk about this. First of all, what I'm going to describe to you is grand theft on an epic scale, and it's happening right now. And I guess this is how we make America great again as well. Again, no talk from our lovely, illustrious, duppy president about returning purchasing power to the currency. Not anything whatsoever about adding gold or silver to our strategic reserves here. No one's even checking on the gold that may or may not be there. That was a real priority, right? Oh, they're running over to do that. People, the lies are just epic, man. So Lions, with the dollar, this is about to get much worse. Remember what I just told you right here? Plays right into it. And again, that's in your inbox. Link in the description of this video. Lions, we are witnessing a rapidly accelerating dollar purchasing power decline, and this will get worse. Are we all on the same page? Do you really think this is going to change here when you have a duppy president calling for lower rates and a weaker dollar? That's all he's doing. That's his economic policy. Tariffs that are being taken apart piece by piece doesn't work. We have no economic policy here except dollar debasement, lower rates here, and U.S. isolation. This is how we do it. You have to realize, I don't think he's stupid. I think he's a puppet of the highest possible order, and that's why he was selected. He told you he was the chosen one, and I believe that. We are witnessing a rapidly accelerating dollar purchasing power decline, and this will get worse. As of March 2025, this just came out, the Consumer Price Index indicated that by their own freaking numbers that the dollar purchasing power has decreased by 2.2%. Their numbers, okay, year over year. Now, just over the past few weeks, the U.S. dollar has experienced an even faster decline, with the dollar index falling below 100 for the first time since July 2023. The U.S. dollar's purchasing power is declining rapidly, with expectations of further erosion due to inflationary pressures, all the stuff we just covered in the other brief I put out for you, and global economic uncertainties. And Lions, we need to stay on the right side of this, and always, I got your back. I got your back. You have no idea how determined I am. Lions, the next shoe to drop. Be ready for this. This is it. This is the key right here, all right? And again, this is also in your inbox. If you subscribe to my free newsletter, link in the description of this video. The next shoe to drop, Lions, be ready for this. The next shoe to drop is going to be a credit market event. Now, we all know that. You and I have been speaking about this forever, but is it actually going to be a nation that's going to default? The United States is already in a technical debt default. You do realize that, right? Because if it were not for the Federal Reserve buying it all, issuing debt through one door in the form of currency, and then buying it back through another, buying government debt here, and we're seeing debts and deficits balloon beyond your wildest dreams here. And war, it seems to be the key mechanism to keep this going. Henceforth, well, you don't hear about it in the news, but yes, we're in a 24/7 war, not to stop terrorism. Okay, that's what you were told, and you bought that one, right? And you were also told it was to free up the shipping lanes. You see, the Duppy can't tell you the truth because he's demonic. He is demonic. He's sent straight from hell to destroy us all in the United States. He's the puppet. He's the chosen one, okay? I bet you if you look under his toupee or wherever he wears on his head over there, you're going to see 666. Anyway, what we're going to see here, I don't believe it's actually going to be a nation that defaults. I think it's going to be, well, hold that thought. Here we go. And this is going to set forth a cascade of events. So the next shoe to drop is going to be a credit market event. The debt system, which is you know this already, but I'm going to review. The debt system, which is the foundation of the global financial structure, is going to crack in plain sight. And people, it's cracking right freaking now. And those cracks are windows. As I said to all of you, they're windows that people like I and I can look through and see with clarity what's going on here. In my opinion, this is the real reason why Trump put on his 90-day tariff pause and now has extended this to China with electronic devices and computers and whatever, and they're laughing at us. Imagine the United States of America, now the laughing stock of the world. You can't make it up. It's disgusting. There is no way that he, President Trump, or his advisors are not watching the debt and credit markets like we do. There's no way. This is happening now and no one is talking about it. Corporate bond market instability. This is where I see a major problem here. And this may be where this, in fact, I think there's a very high probability that this is where we're going to see the system start to actually come apart. So just bear with me on this one. So this is happening now, and I mean nobody is talking about it. So you guys and girls are first to know. Corporate bond market instability. Right now, we are at the peak of the everything bubble. Sound familiar? I've only been saying that since forever. And most corporations are sitting on junk-related debt that they could only float out at zero interest. Think about what I'm saying here. What is happening, and it's getting, again, zero attention, is the ability for corporations to refinance their debt is shrinking. Same thing is happening for nations as well. But again, this may be the actual trigger. These windows are closing, which means that default risk spikes. Now, Lions, my bet, a high-profile corporate bond fund or a major name is going to default, triggering panic in risk asset valuations. I mean, this market doesn't make any sense. I've already told you this. Even though we've had a pretty profound sell-off here, there's no connection to reality. It's so distorted. We don't even have a market. We have some kind of a smudge, which is a distortion on an epic scale. How did this happen? Easy money. Artificially suppressed rates here. Currency purchasing power losses, which has created this dystopian environment across the board. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. Let us move forward. Now again, my bet, a high-profile corporate bond fund or major name defaults triggering panic in risk asset valuations or the stock market. Okay, people possibly tied to a real estate finance or commercial credit now. Shadow banking. Most of you know what shadow banking is. I'm not going to cover it right here. Basically, just look this stuff up for yourself because I want to get through this. So, liquidity crisis. We all know we're in one. Okay, we are in a multiple crisis environment, and it's expansive. So, liquidity crisis. There are trillions of dollars in private credit, leveraged debt, hedge fund leveraged debt here, hedge leveraged debt, unregulated repo financing out there. Just one big blow up, and margin calls will ripple across every major asset class, people, and this could be it. This would be fast and contagious, possibly blamed on geopolitical events to mask the systemic rot. The system is rotten from the inside out. Lions, something will break beneath the surface. And I've been thinking about this for the longest time. What's it going to be? What's actually going to be it? I mean, because they're going to, again, look, man, they're going to deflect blame. Again, it's Peter Navarro who's been thrown under the bus because he's the architect for President Trump's tariff plan. Although President Trump has been talking about tariffs for the longest time, but it's not Trump. It's Navarro. Make that up. Okay, that should tell you something. Anyway, look, something will break beneath the surface of the debt markets, credit markets, suddenly, violently, and without warning. And it will be blamed on war, maybe even the weather, or some other unexpected event. It's always unexpected. No one saw this one coming. You know what they do. Again, it's astonishing to me. It really is. Now, honestly, people, the trigger doesn't matter. The collapse in trust and liquidity, which we are drying up, is an illusion like everything else. And that is what we're about to witness. Does this sound right to you? Everything I just put out for you, this, all the headlines that we just covered, am I making this stuff up? Or is it pretty much clear to you people? I think we're pretty much on the same page. It's insane. This has gone off the rails. And it's going off the rails. And this is not by accident. There is not one thing that we see right now that is by accident. Everything is being put in place methodically, deliberately, by design to bring the entire world economy to its knees and the people with it. It's an incredible thing. Let me ask you this, seriously, because all you guys are way, way smarter than me. If we understand that to have a strong economy with regard to a nation or the entire world, you have to have a strong currency. Why is it that central banks are here working with world leaders to destroy the purchasing power of the currency? Some of them, including President the Duppy Trump, is calling for a weaker dollar and lower rates. So how can we have a strong economy if we don't have a strong currency? Because that's rule number one in economics and finance. To have a strong economy, you need a strong currency. Now, here's the second part of this equation, since you're all way smarter than me, and that's a fact. So if we know that to have a strong economy, you need a strong currency, you also need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. So why is it that Duppy presidents and other world leaders, not one, is talking about raising rates, is talking about returning purchasing power to the currency? None of them. They're all saying the polar opposite, working directly with their central bank to wipe us out. You want to get rid of the Federal Reserve? Get rid of every single world leader we have now, including President Trump, who should resign today. Okay? The man is a curse upon this world. Period. And you don't like what I'm saying? You really see this is changing around. You see what he's doing with the tariffs here, backtracking on everything. It wasn't even his idea. How do you feel about that? Did you really feel that we were going to be strong? Did President Trump float out Navarro during his run-up to the presidency and tell you that the tariffs were his plan? Did he tell you that if they failed, he was going to throw Navarro under the bus because it's Navarro who's the architect? It isn't him. Make that up. Did you forget any of that stuff here? And now he's trying to convince people that we're taking in billions of dollars. How does that work when there are reciprocal tariffs? Whatever we're taking in is going right out the other door. Again, another lie, another deception. What else would you expect from a demon from hell? Because that's what he is. It's pretty obvious here. Okay, the chosen one. The snake poem. Do you guys need really any more proof? that what we're covering here is absolutely correct? Or you still doubt it? You still don't think so, huh? Make it up. All right, guys, he goes, listen, I'm going to let you go. I covered a lot with you today, and everything I read is in your inbox. That's for you guys and girls to look at, to go over, to make sense of it. You understand? It's not for me. I know this stuff. I'm putting it out for you because we are one. I and I are one. You understand? You, wherever you are in the world, I, and I, we're unified, man. We come together as one voice. I already told you. Not only do I believe that we could put a dent in this hellish system that we have right here, this Babylon destructive system that wants us all on our knees, that is pushing us there, but we could punch a hole right through it. And how do we do that? We unify. We come together. We become one voice, okay? You guys and girls play a critical role. Critical role. I'm just one guy sitting here, okay? You guys and girls, get the message out there. Start talking to people. Start spreading this stuff out there far and wide. Comment. Give these videos a thumbs up if I've earned it. Now, if you want to know how to capitalize on all this stuff, people, I couldn't make it easy for you either, man. Look, man, we may be in freaking Babylon, and we are, but we do not have to be of it. We can flip these tables on those that are seeking to destroy us, and I mean literally, okay? All this is outlined for you. You want to get into this market, you want to stay in here and take advantage of stuff, I got it all out for you. I work so hard putting together outlines, breakdowns of what's happening in the market, crude oil, gold, even Bitcoin and XRP. Why? Because you guys and girls asked me to. I have it all for you. Right on my website, it's there right now, what you need to know prior to the market open tomorrow. There is a link in the description of this video right to my website. Go check it out. Even if you don't even want to be a part of this, just read what I wrote there. It'll break it all down for you. And I don't think there's really another guy out here, and I don't know of one or girl that works as hard as I do for all of you. Because look, man, I answer to God the Father, the creator of all things, number one. Okay. Number two, you. I don't even factor in here, okay? As hard as I have to work, as tired as I may be, I will not surrender. There is no way that this lion is going to surrender, and neither are you. You understand? We walk shoulder to shoulder, I and I, in this whole thing. This is not my thing. This is our thing. I've been telling you this for 1,000 years. You understand? So I and I are going to take a stand against the system. Because if we don't do it, people, all they're going to do is laugh at us even more. And we're laughing at us. We're attacking. We are pouncing. And right now is the time to do it. Does that sound right to you as well? Or is Greg just rambling on for no reason here? Let me know. I will read through the comments. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you guys and girls in the morning. All right? I don't know what else to say. We got this. I and I got this. Sound about right? I love you guys and girls with all I got in my heart, my soul, my spirit, with everything I have. And we're not going down. There's no way this is happening here. We're going to utilize everything in our power and collectively come up with things that they can't even dream of to flip this around, because we're not letting the system wipe us out, because that's what they're doing here. The chosen one is going to destroy America, whatever was left of it. Okay? And I'm not saying that the other puppet that they had was any better. Oh, he was just as bad. Maybe not as bad. This is worse. Okay. But it's all a design here. These things are, and they're not human, are not placed behind the resolute desk because they have your best interest in mind. This is a mission of destruction, allowing central banks to coordinate their efforts to take over the entire world, the entire system, and again, issuing a whole new paradigm, a whole new set of rules. Does this sound right to you? Because I've only been saying this for 10 years, and I think we're here now. Okay, so that means that you and I and I, must act more so, with more force than ever before. Love you guys. I'll see you in the morning.